What's up, y'all? Silver and Black Tech Pod back at it. And we're going to be discussing the national championship game. It was a beatdown. The Michigan Wolverines, led by uh, our former coach Jim Harbaugh, absolutely beat down the Washington Huskies, who I thought
Our
I had
former coach? You mean our future coach?
former and future coach Jim Harbaugh.
Former and future.
But yeah, I liked Washington coming in this game. I really like their head coach. He coached at Fresno State, Kalen DeBoer. And obviously their quarterback is he was amazing throughout the season, Michael Penix. Um, Against Texas, he was in complete command of their offense, throwing darts, running around. Kind of what CJ Stroud did in college. He looked exactly like what CJ Stroud was at Ohio State. But the Michigan defense obviously was too much to overcome from him. He had a bad game, it happens. And it doesn't change the fact that I want Michael Penix as our next quarterback. I think he's going to fall to around maybe 8 or 9. So I think it's doable to trade up for him in front of the Broncos because like you said, they're at pick 12. We were just talking about it before.
Pick 12, Denver. Pick 13, us. Um, I agree. I think Denver is going to be in the market for a quarterback. And the whole draft order is like, okay, there's going to be like a bunch of teams that are in the market, for a QB. But looking at the whole national championship game, I mean, it was closer than some people thought in the first half. I mean, like first drive, Michael Penix threw that horrible interception. Oh, well, it was actually an amazing catch by the DB. That was number one on the ESPN top 10 too that night. That was just a crazy double clutch. He hit him in the in the arms, and then he caught it on the sideline, got the elbow down. That was not Penix's fault, but that was a game right there. Like with Michigan, if you don't keep scoring, it's good. They're going to run up the score, and it was 17-10 at that point. And then luckily Washington D held to a field goal, and then they got the ball back and they kicked a field goal. And then the fourth quarter, it was just all Michigan again. But some prospects from that game, Michael Penix, obviously, that's our pretty safe bet for who we want to be our next quarterback. Um, Rome Aduza or whatever his name, Rome Aduza.
Odunze.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good wide receiver. I saw some mock drafts having us take him. We don't need a receiver. That's just plain stupid. I don't know those like Mel Kiper and shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like that is just so dumb. Like to say we need a receiver. We're fine at receiver. Like Jacoby's one of the best wide receiver twos in the league. And but if you look at the NFL draft order, we got I think there's like five teams, if I'm not mistaken, ahead of us that are gonna need a quarterback. Like there's Carolina gave the pick to Chicago. So Bears, I think now that they're keeping Eberflus, they're gonna be keeping Justin Fields, it seems, at least for the next year. Washington number two, they're gonna draft a QB. Sam Howell's not it. Number three, New England. New England's gonna draft a QB. Kyler Murray at number four is fine. Chargers, they're fine. Giants, they could draft a QB because Tyrod Taylor took over and Danny Dimes is injury prone. ACL's gone. Tennessee at seven, they have Will Levis, they're fine. Number eight, Atlanta could also be in the market for a QB because Desmond Ritter experiment has failed over the last 2 years, I think now. Taylor Heineke was a nice fill-in, but he got hurt as well. Number nine, Chicago again. 10 Jets, Rogers experiment is going to keep on running next year. Number 11, Minnesota. Minnesota could be in the market for a quarterback, I think. If
Yeah.
they let Cousins walk, I think they could look to draft someone. 12,
Yeah.
Denver, again, Russell Wilson. If they cut him, they're going to be in the market for a quarterback. So we got like realistically one, two, three, four, five, six teams in the market for a quarterback with about five prospects that are, first top 15 pick,
Yeah.
worthy.
And I would say we've consistently said that JJ McCarthy we wouldn't be happy with him as our quarterback just because like you're seeing with these Alabama quarterbacks, like Bryce Young, for example, when you have a good team around you, it's not the quarterback that's doing the winning. Like he's running around doing whatever, but at the end of the day, it's he's getting carried by the team, and that all his success won't translate. You can see it. He's a small guy, runs around, but he's going to get crushed in the NFL. That's what I predict. Another prospect who got eliminated in the Pac-12 championship game is Bo Nix. I think he's going to be a first round quarterback. I don't know how high I would value him compared to the other guys. I think he's the fifth best prospect, but he's going to be up there around where we pick. But it's going to be interesting to see if we can trade up in front of those teams because I actually like where we're at. Like if you're a team like, let's say, the Falcons at 8 or 9, they can't really trade up because they're already in the position to get a quarterback, but we can jump them. Like they can't really jump themselves, right? We can jump them and go snag their guy. So, I mean, I think we're in a good position. We have a lot of flexibility to grab Michael Penix or Jaden Daniels, whoever falls to us. So it just depends on who we like, who the new GM likes.
and who the new coach likes most
Yeah.
of all. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens again, but I think there's some good options available. We're gonna have to trade up, I think, for a QB.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
yeah, and I think Penix is the guy, man. I think Penix is just that guy is just tough. Like he is just the one word that comes to mind with him is just tough. I mean, he broke his ribs, I think they said in the late like last couple of drives of the game, and he didn't want to leave. He's like, "Oh, it's my last time in a Washington uniform. I want to be out there."
Yeah.
And obviously, like I've seen him. I saw him play in person. Like they came to the Coliseum this year. We gave them a run for their money. Um, but our defense just was obviously folded in the end again, like they always do.
Yeah.
Um, Caleb Williams again, one of those prospects that's going to go either top three. I think he's either going to go to Washington or to New England. Depends who the Washington coach becomes, but I am honestly not too high on Caleb Williams in the NFL. But Raider Nation, we'll see what happens, and we'll keep coming to you, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you all.